Albert Einstein. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. That quote never ceases to inspire me. If it didn't inspire you just now, hopefully you're at least open-minded enough to become inspired. If not, you should just go ahead and get the hell out of here. Are you still here? Well then, we are going to have an absolute amazing experience. We're about to listen to an excerpt from Simon Sinek and his book, The Infinite Game. This is basically what I like to call discount therapy. It provides for people like me that have struggled and battled with depression and social anxiety their whole lives with essentially, there's really no other way to put it but like a drug. To have one of your best days, that ability to have that motivation and inspiration for that day, to have the even capability of having one of your best days. And that's what these videos are here to do. They're to help support those that need that extra little boost of inspiration. We're about to begin the excerpt, so do whatever it is you need to do to truly welcome the information in. And I really mean this. Close your eyes, go turn off the lights, go hide in a closet. Doesn't matter what you do. Just whatever you truly need to do to absorb the information in.
Over the course of human history, we have seen the benefits of infinite thinking so many times. The rise of great societies, advancements in science and medicine, and the exploration of space all happened because large groups of people, united in common cause, chose to collaborate with no clear end in sight. If a rocket that was headed for the stars crashed, for example, we figured out what was wrong and tried again, and again, and again. And even after we succeeded, we kept going. We did these things not because of the promise of an end-of-year bonus. We did these things because we felt like we were contributing to something bigger than ourselves, something with value that would last well beyond our own lifetimes. For all its benefits, acting with an infinite long-term view is not easy. It takes real effort. As human beings, we are naturally inclined to seek out immediate solutions to uncomfortable problems and prioritize quick wins to advance our ambitions. We tend to see the world in terms of successes and failures, winners and losers. This default win-lose mode can sometimes work for the short term. However, as a strategy for how companies and organizations operate, it can have grave consequences over the longer term. The results of this default mindset are all too familiar. Annual rounds of mass layoffs to meet arbitrary projections, cutthroat work environments, subservience to the shareholder over the needs of the employees and customers, dishonest and unethical business practices, rewarding high-performing toxic team members while turning a blind eye to the damage they are doing to the rest of the team, and rewarding leaders who seem to care a lot more about themselves than those in their charge. All things that contribute to a decline of loyalty and engagement and an increase of insecurity and anxiety that too many of us feel these days. This impersonal and transactional approach to business seems to have accelerated in the aftermath of the Industrial Revolution and seems to be accelerating even more in our digital age. Indeed, our entire understanding of commerce and capitalism seems to have fallen under the sway of short-term, finite-minded thinking. Though many of us lament this state of things, unfortunately it seems like the market's desire to maintain the status quo is more powerful than the momentum to change it. When we say things like, people must come before profit, we often face resistance. Many of those who control the current system, many of our current leaders, tell us we are naive and we don't understand the reality of how business works. As a result, too many of us back down. We resign ourselves to waking up dreading going to work, not feeling safe when we're there, and struggling to find fulfillment in our lives. So much so that the search for that elusive work-life balance has become an entire industry unto itself. It leaves me wondering, do we have another viable option? It is entirely possible that perhaps, just perhaps, the reality that the cynics keep talking about doesn't have to be that way. That perhaps our current system of doing business isn't right or even best. It is just the system we're used to, one preferred and advanced by a minority, not the majority. If this is indeed the case, then we have an opportunity to advance a different reality. It is well within our power to build a world in which the vast majority of us wake up every single morning inspired, feel safe at work, and return home fulfilled at the end of the day. The kind of change I advocate is not easy, but it is possible. With good leaders, great leaders, this vision can come to life. Great leaders are the ones who think beyond short-term versus long-term. They're the ones who know that it is not about the next quarter or the next election, it is about the next generation. Great leaders set up their organizations to succeed beyond their own lifetimes, and when they do, the benefits, for us, for business, and even for the shareholder, are extraordinary. I wrote this book not to convert those who defend the status quo. I wrote this book to rally those who are ready to challenge that status quo and replace it with a reality that is vastly more conducive to our deep-seated human need to feel safe, to contribute to something bigger than ourselves, and to provide for ourselves and our families. A reality that works for our best interests as individuals, as companies, as communities, and as a species. If we believe in a world in which we can feel inspired, safe, and fulfilled every single day, and if we believe that leaders are the ones who can deliver on that vision, then it is our collective responsibility to find, guide, and support those who are committed to leading in a way that will more likely bring that vision to life. And one of the steps we need to take is to learn what it means to lead in the infinite game.
How pumped up are you after listening to that man? Why is your life so boring? Are you making yourself available to viable options? One of the greatest viable options in the world, in my opinion, is keeping the next generation in mind in every decision you make. This is powerful stuff that will begin transforming your life moving forward. Internalize that you are here for a greater purpose, and it is for those that will come after you. Why I record outside. Rule 3 in my book, Serve, the rule book, step-by-step rules on a fast execution of a new mindset. Talks about the gains of just being outside, essentially versus comparatively to always being, in a car, on a commute, or cooped up in a building. Just a heads up, the entire rest of this video are going to be shameless plugs. So you are free to go now if you'd like. But if you'd like to stay and learn a little bit more on how to support me, please do.
Get your inspirational woihoy at shirtharmony.com. Link in the description below. Check out my new book, Serve, the rule book, step-by-step rules for a fast execution on a new mindset. Link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week. See ya.